We're here for a Rorschach and a reading for Bev. Thank you so much for being here with me. Here's your Inkblot if you want to take a screenshot to scry on your own time and terms. And I'm grateful for allowing me the space to empathically explore and share my insights. And when you're ready, Bev, and other Bevs to the name collective, thank you. This is a public reading. Let us go. Okay, Bevs, there is right in the center here, whoop, there we are. There is this place. And there's two people in there. They feel like parents, and you hold them in a particular place, maybe in your mind or whatnot. I kind of feel like either they were trophy parents or you were their trophy or maybe their favorite, something along that lines. They work or still support you if they are still or both in spirit. They support you through the sacral, through like creative energy force. So they were very much in love when they had you, even though the journey may have changed or the relationship over time may have changed. The spark of your soul having space to come through and be born was of love. I'm seeing dandelions, and also a tug of war. The tug of war is above. Okay, so it's kind of above or on the surface of these two beings. I'm seeing them as parents, but they could be any prominent people in your life. So it's almost as if you hold them maybe in this one point of view, or there's other things going on, or their love was very private because on the surface it seemed like they weren't on the same page, or there was this tug of war of power, but I'm not entirely sure they were as much as it might have been perceived. Does that make sense? And I'm seeing dandelions off to the side of them. So right deep in there is where I'm seeing the tug of war. But they did work together deep down, even though it might have appeared differently, because that was them also learning and doing and being. But it's like their souls were on the same page. Like they understood the mission, for lack of a better word, that they accepted. So in the cartoon Beetlejuice, when he goes into the Netherlands, there's this one character, he's a cowboy, and I'm not entirely sure, and I'm a huge fan, but that's not the point. I can't remember. I believe he's like Beetlejuice's neighbor, and he's this big furry cowboy type thing, and I'm seeing that. But and I can't remember necessarily the character in the cartoon, but it's like a fuzzy heart is what I'm seeing, a fuzzy heart right in here. Oops, there we go, right in there. Now it is a little dull, so it kind of feels like a mossy green versus like a vibrant green, but as this moss kind of green is in the fuzziness, so there's still like a will and a want to have this fuzzy green heart come alive. It's almost as if like I want to turn it and allow the space. There could be something to do with parents that is connected to the version of seeing relationships being lived out. And from one perspective as a child, and I can say, okay, my parents are existing in their relationship and it's playing out this way, but there's a whole other part that an outsider doesn't perceive, right? So there could be something in that. And then I just saw phoenix wings come out once that's realized, to say, oh, you know, whatever the case may be. And then this green bush here, it starts to lighten up again, reaching towards, like from the earth, and starts to reach out to say, I'm ready and willing to think of love lighter. And it does feel like it's in a romantic relationship, but it could even just be in the concept of marriage. Maybe it's just, there's just still some things to kind of dig through. Or you're cleaning up your version, Bevs. You're cleaning up your version of marriage. And you're like, you know what? That's outdated. That's outdated. Great that it worked for my parents, or great that it worked back in the 40s and the 50s, or it didn't work. But I'm here and now, and that might be an outdated version. That's okay. I'm being asked to be drawn down here, and I'm seeing your earthly eyes have, I don't know if they're baby birds or baby dinosaurs. When I follow the dinosaurs rabbit hole, that's when I kind of get like ancient aspects and observations. Like maybe some things just are outdated. And then when I wander to the like baby bird version, I get the sensation of this like beginning to nurture a new point of view. And it's not actually new. You've just modified. You're modifying things. And then this bright love. If you can see that with me there, like these pink pom-poms. And it's like silver lungs of being able to breathe in. Lightness of love. I kind of feel like I'm looking at something that I really am not entirely sure what it is. But there's almost like if I saw it sideways, a vice of some sort. Like it feels like a vice. I think that's called a vice when it holds something together. There's a fire, like a campfire in the center of this vice. So the pressure, and then I just saw strong arms come out as soon as I acknowledged that. Okay, so this fire that I've seen there, and these, they are teal in nature. They're actually a really nice blue the way they came out. But it's making me feel like it's actually attracting in a higher emotional vibrational state. Where typically a fire is cleansing, but if I was, so when I follow that visual line, I see a fire like burning leaves, like the season has ended and you're just burning brush. It's very light, but it's going to go up quickly. And then it creates space for like new emotional vibrations to come in. And it brings in with like sun, with really high golden auras with them. And this also works with something about the dandelion. I'm seeing really, if I may, let's see if I can get in here without destroying it. There it is. Okay. So right here, I'm seeing like a chubby angel with, there's the wings, and he's like doling out light. Just like weaving or crocheting and just sending out light. I love it. I love it. I'm going to flip it to win it here, and I'm going to start adding on some tarot and oracle for Bev. Source Bev, thank you. Bev namesake, thank you as well. Like, share, subscribe. Let's see what else is going on here for the Bev Collective. Yeah, I'm seeing them again. The fire upside down, like there's two fires, but they're different. Oh, this is like a creative eye thing. Okay, so this fire is in the eyes. There might have been or it could be something creative or an idea going on. I'm also seeing like a panther, an emotional panther. We're here for the Bev Collective. Thank you. And it's like I can see this. I don't know what it is. If it's, oh, there's a fly in here. Bird or owl or something along the lines come to life. Okay. But they're crying. Crying out the blue and the yellow. The word wants to be written. The blue and the yellow. The blue and the yellow. Maybe a good cry, Bevs, could do you a lot of good in regards to more what the sacral energy or the sacral chakra has to offer. And if that resonates with you, I dare say take the steps to maybe read up on it. Different sources, different words will resonate. The word wants to be written. I think the words are already written. It's a matter of finding a language that resonates with you. It's creative in the most simplistic way. It's definitely creative, and I don't know. I kind of always call it the happy chakra if it's in alignment. It's also the sexual chakra. So there could be just something crying over that. Something in your brain too. It's like I can see your brain going beyond normal. Something in your brain. That's what I was saying. Something in the brain. Something up there. I can see like boxing up there in the brain space. And it has to do with the concepts of thinking about love. In there is where I see the little boxers. This is where I see the brain. But see all the white up there? Like it's like moonshine illuminations. Because you've got the sun so much on the other space. And now we're in like the moon. Could also be the subcon state. But subconscious seeds in regards to love. And like they're duking it out right now. Boom, 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 boom. Legacy of light is coming through as well. There's that orange fire right in the center. Orange fire of the eyes. I feel like you're moving up. Does that make sense? If you were once maiden or in maiden energy, you're moving into mother energy, and then from mother into crone energy. And I don't mean this in the actual sense of the definition of what we perceive as a mother, having to bear child, bear life. There's many ways to embody our motherhood. And this is what I feel like you're doing. You're moving up a leg in your own legacy, going beyond your normal. So you're going from, or at least how it's feeling for me in this space that you're in, is moving from maiden to mother, or possibly mother to crone, with there being gray hair. I like it. So there's something coming through about the third eye, the crown space. So I'm being asked to wander down here. And I'm seeing all this mauve purple. And there's two beings here, but I'm really sensing it as one or a reflection. Could be your light and your shadow, your con state, this other mind body, you choose. And so there's this ethereal kind of crown landscape, so maybe a wonderland of sorts, and there's a big old monster right there. It's like, are we going to go in? Restore and replenish. Like there's a curling up off to the sides, perhaps in the past. See, there's the big old monster, and then there's a green over here. It's like you've curled up and maybe didn't go in. You're like, you know what? I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet to take a leg up or receive this leg up. I feel like you've worked for it. So I would say take the leg up. But it's like there's a standing there and going, am I going to go into this unknown territory, to this unknown... It's not unknown. It's just like has different perceptions about it, or will ask you to grow in your perception. So there's this nervousness. But you've done the restoration already. You've done it or are amidst it in the Bev Collective, in mind and body. So if you decide to walk through this, listening for your own truths, that's what's going to be there. It is like putting the shell up to your ear. If you wish to hear, you will hear. Oh, we're staying there. Okay. If you wish to hear anything, you'll hear the slight humming, because it's a vibrational shift. It's not like the shell starts dancing in your ear. It's a vibrational shift of listening. That's how it's feeling for me anyway. And then I see like kind of like a halo wanders around that. But I'm getting the sensation at some point in time or previously, because I feel like you've done the work, you felt like you're walking into the belly of the beast. That's how it feels, the belly of the beast. But you're grown now. You're different. You're different. So that's not the case. Spirals of manifestation, and release the dark wound. Let love live. Come to life is still on the bottom. This is like, okay, so I'll acknowledge it because it's not going away. It's like painting a new perspective even on your own person. If you wish to be perceived in a particular way, and say even of your own looking in the mirror, I want to ask, like, well, what are you doing to nurture the perception you wish to be perceiving instead of just thinking about it? What can help bring that into fruition so this boxing fight of the mind can just be called, square, and it's a tie, and you both win and you both lose. Try different things on, do little things, read things, watch things, like find your way to express this part of you that you wish to be cultivating. Releasing the dark wound to let love live kind of brings me back to the whole parents thing. I'm not blaming parents. It's just the symbol that's coming through, that there could just be, if there is any wounds from that space, dig into them. Dig in, go back and understand that maybe you're not seeing the whole story for a reason, because you were of one age and your parents were in a completely different place. I don't know. That's how it's feeling anyway. Shock of the new and inspiration. So I'll howl. Okay, well, it's not. So coming to new was on the bottom before, and it stayed there for quite some time. And I had said, like, it feels like you're painting on this new perception. Not necessarily your whole persona, because your persona is just fine. It is lit up. Look at it. It's so beautiful. It's like when you give, it feels like it's raining money somehow. And I don't mean that tangibly, but that's how it feels. You know what I mean? Like when we were kids and our grandpa used to like pull change out of his pockets and like throw it on the carpet, and we would all scatter to go, oh my goodness, nickels. That's what it was. It was pennies, nickels, and dimes, and we would get so excited if it was a quarter. It's not about the dollar value amount, but it's just about when you give very freely, very freely. And it's inspiring. That's the coloring of it. All the teals and the yellows, that's the coloring of it. I don't know if I can capture that. One day I'll get the lighting. So as you're building this, or trying things on, painting, maybe you're even going to get a tattoo to represent something that is like, yes. Once it's there, in this sunflower of yourself, and working with the solar plexus and sacral energies, and then kind of like the sunflower and the sun, like if you focus on those two, then they'll kind of like reverb out to the heart and to the root and all the way up to the crown, and going right through the throat. See, now my throat's getting all like, oh my gosh, it's time. We're doing this. It's time. Yes, it's time, Babs. Because my goodness, it's amazing. I'm also seeing a Flintstone car. Okay, no, not necessarily a Flintstone car. What I'm seeing is one of those things on train tracks, but it's not a train. It's not a caboose either. But it's almost like this, where this boxing match is. It's like I'm seeing them go by and they're battling it out on the top of a train. And I'm watching this movie and it's foggy out and there's a bridge coming. And I'm seeing it all up here, right? Like those are the wheels. It's very dramatic. This boxing match is very dramatic. Let It Go has come through again, along with positive change. Love, if there's something that can be let go of, not love, but perhaps a perception of love and what that looks like, what that means. And it's not because you're wrong. I think it's because you've just outgrown it. Your legacy is being lifted. Maiden to mother, mother to crone. Wow. One more for the Bev Collective before we get ready to close out. Thank you very much. Shock of the new. It's like people will look at you and say, I'm going to take this one. Listen. It's like people are going to look at you and go, she's the same, but she's not. It's almost like the sugar got a little bit of spice, or the spice got a little bit of sugar. You know what I mean? Like you're doubling down on the recipe is how it's feeling. The universe is your partner. So you already got a romance. The crossing initiation, you were absolutely moving up through that legacy, the legacy of your own light. You are moving up it. You have chosen to. You're not going into the belly of the beast. That's an outdated perception. You're like, no, I'm ready. Let's go. Because it's not scary. It's not scary. No. Transpersonal. You have reached the height, and as an example of the maiden energy, of the mother energy. And you are moving into the next line of sight. This is what you're doing. And it just takes a minute to listen and have that illumination within yourself. And it's like seeing, or the way I'm at least seeing it is, like you're sitting there thinking about it. Maybe you're just pondering, not constipating about it, and not trying to analyze it to the degree that it becomes devalued, but just simply listening and going, what if? And then shock waves move out. Did that come through at some point in time? Shock waves? Shock of the new. Yes. But I'm seeing it like shock waves. And then you're like, okay. Now it's time to move out of this stagnation that I was in. Ooh, that was sneaky. And enjoy the feast of the plenty that's out there. Root girl. You're building from the root up because it's a new time frame. It's a new cycle. It's a new space for your soul to exist in. And what you are going to do with it is up to you. I just saw eyes with like windshield wipers. Bevs. There's so much ready as you walk through. There's plenty of fish to choose from if it's in regards to love, self-love, and stopping the battling of the self-sabotage potentially in the mind with the boxing match on the top of the train in the fog. And though it's a great story, I'm not gonna lie, like it was very entertaining to feel that. There is love at the top of it all. Your crown is in check. It is like feather boas of being. That's how it's coming through. Feather boas of being. And if you're looking to embody more of a, what is that? Like feather boa around the neck, da dun da dun da dun of your earthly expression, add a little spice to your sweetness. The season of fall felt very important. I think technically we're still in it. I apologize, but we have snow here, so to me, it's winter. The fall season feels important because this is when it's happening. This is when this is all happening. It's happening now. We're in it. And the clarity of where originally I saw like the parents in this particular container, it transforms. When I come full circle all the way around in your reading and come back to that, I see your third eye with double perspective, knowing that you can draw from your maiden perspective and your mother perspective, or your mother perspective and your crone perspective. Mother, maiden, crone, and it becomes one pupil, one student of all the energies. Does that make sense? Something about dandelions again. I know I keep saying it, but I don't know. They're just darling. They're just darling. And a wreath on your door. Something about a wreath on the door. Okay. Bev, thank you so much. Source Bev, I will send your original in the mail. So you will receive it so you can scry on your own time and terms. And for everyone else, you could take a screenshot so you can as well empathically explore and see what symbols and shapes stand out to you. Not only serving, but strengthening your psyche and psychic senses. As always, my gratitude. And until next time, thank you.